The dork. Ugh. Okay, let's do it. Sun. Horrible sun. Horrible daylight. Ugh, cringe. Let there just be nothing but the blackness of the dark. Turn that on. Ugh. Bright as hell. My goodness. There we go. Do this, spin it back. Got another little thing real quick. Zhukov, you psycho. You psychoed out. Oh my god, you psychoed out. Crazy! You're a crazy boy. You're a crazy boy. You know that dog? You're a crazy dog. You are just a crazy dog, Zhukov. My dog. My goodness. This quick. Well, fuck, it is colder than shit in here. I thought it'd be some warmer. Fuck. It's warm outside. Yes. Put my damn layers on. There we go. Zhukov. Zhukov. Come on, boy. What you being crazy? What you being crazy, boy, huh? Come on. What is this just staring at me thing? Like, you can't just, like, stare at me wanting something. Like, you have to actually come over here, like, mess around with me, play around with me, roughhouse or something. Like, shit. Come on, dog. Ain't that damn hard. Goddamn. Awesome. Well, I'm pretty sure this Zhukov is actually more awesome than I would. He's the one being the crazy one. That's the crazy boy. What's your point? You're crazy. You're crazy, mutt. Back over here. Serious, Doge? Man, nutball. Fucking crazy. Crazy. Oop. Crazy and chilly. And chilly at the same time. There. Let's see what the right little thing's going on. I'll just do stuff, but look at that in a second. I'll look at that in a second. Do this first. And then I get Zhukov too. Bring him back. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Jesus. Oh, I need to start moving around. Yeah, moving around, bro. I need to get my blood pumping. Go. I'm cold, you are warm because you got all the warm blood. You're just a warm-blooded beast. Fucking Jesus. Wicked MC fuck early stream. Yeah. Fucking cold in here. And you'd think when it's dark and nighttime it'd be cold in here, but no, it's in the afternoon. It's like colder than it was last night in here, probably. Right now than it was last night. I don't know why I think it's a good idea to come in here. To just be like, alright, freeze myself for a second. That's smart. And RIP manager to find our test is still test positive. Still got 2.5 more days of quarantine. Jesus, man, you're just like you're just like stuck with it, aren't you? Damn, man. Man. This whole week of work, so gonna make time off more difficult for us here. Yeah. Yeah, and despite all that, it's still gonna fucking, yeah, like, despite it being out of your total fucking control, it's just like, no, this counts as your days off now. If you were sick, well, that's not our problem. Fuck you. It's like, what? It's like, what a useful, like, what a great time to have off. It's just be sick and riddled in bed, quarantined. Ugh. Ugh. That's kind of how it works. My work lumps sick days and time off under a single PTO system. Wow. What you doing, boy? What you doing? You walk around back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. You're a silly boy. Look at you. Look at all this little fluffy cheek fluff of yours. Okay, you want a treat? So which one? I'll get you a little one. A little one for the morning. There you go. It's just a little one. There. So what's all going on? What's going on in the world? Let's see what's happening in that world, yeah. I kind of want to probably smoke a little first, actually. Now I think about it. Zhukov. Oh my god. Well, fucking hell. Goddamn. That was like a ambush and a bombardment of insane, like, bodily functions. Fuck. My god. That, like, came out of nowhere. I was just about to, like, what's up, Zhukov, you sweet baby? And then now son just, boom, it's the ambush. Like, that just came so suddenly. I was caught off on guard from that one. Like, goddamn. Man, I mean, sneezes be like that, though. Like, you'll get a sneeze every now and then. It's just like, just out of nowhere. Just like, whoa, where the fuck did this come from? Where did this come from? Oh, jeez. Wake that brain up. Brain. Oh, if only had a Lincoln and I had another Lincoln if I only had a brain. I actually don't know how that goes. Something like that. If I only had a Lincoln and it's up and down about it if I only had a brain. Alright. What's this? Legal marijuana might come to Texas?
This is really interesting. We are now at the point in this country where even hardcore Texas Republicans are softening on the issue of weed. Take a look at this.
But remember this.
Whoa, that's Abbott. That's Greg Abbott there.
And that is, for possession of marijuana, it is now a Class C misdemeanor in the state of Texas. And so one thing that I believe in, and I believe the state legislature believes in, and that is prison and jail is a place for dangerous criminals who may harm others. And small possession of marijuana is not the type of violation that we want to stockpile jails with.
Well, thank you for at least pointing out the obvious there, Abbott. Is this like the one good thing he's actually said and done so far in his life? He's just like, hey, you know, maybe prisons and jails shouldn't be for, like, non-violent drug offenders, especially when it comes to marijuana. Maybe that's not necessarily something we need. No shit.
Now listen, I don't want to give him too much credit here because he hasn't really lifted a finger to do anything positive on this issue of marijuana. If this is an indication that they're not going to prioritize that and they don't want to fill the jails and the prisons with people like this, okay, that's good, but they have to actually carry it out. There's a lot that they can do legally, and he hasn't really lifted a finger, so I don't want to give him too much credit here. I think he's also responding to pressure from opponents. Now, you know, Beto's involved, and he's for legalizing marijuana, so he might feel the
That makes total sense.
pressure on that. 67% of Texans want to legalize it. So that's probably what's going on here. But having said that, look, there's been a sea change. Nobody can deny it. 67% of Texans are in favor of legalizing marijuana. Over 50% of Texas Republicans are in favor of legalizing marijuana. You cannot hold yourself up as like, we are the state that believes most in freedom, and then turn around.
I mean, honestly, it just shows that even for full-on legalization, I mean, imagine, you know, what the percentages for medical might be. Like, these people, like, whether they're Republican or Democrat or whatever the fuck, like, they have a very high approval rating when it comes to weed. At least over 50% at this point. Like, it's just kind of ludicrous to just have it just criminalized and illegal at this point. There's just no reason for it.
When they're not hurting anybody else. That would be like the definition of freedom.
Unless there's no rational reason.
Right in line with basic freedoms. So, again, don't give him too much credit here, but there has been a sea change on this. And then, of course, that leads to the bigger point, which is President Biden could right this second legalize marijuana in the entire country.
I hate how that gets brought up because it just angers me. Because, like, honestly, it's just like, that motherfucker is never going to do that, so stop teasing it. Stop saying it, Kyle.
Executive order that changes the scheduling of the drugs.
Stop saying Biden could do this, like he's not going to.
1, Schedule 4 or 5, or just take it off the list completely. At the very least, he could decriminalize it with the stroke of a pen. He could probably legalize it with the stroke of a pen. He's got a low approval rating. The Democrats are going to get hammered in the midterms. This would be one thing that would help them massively.
Oh, yeah.
Massively. And that's to say nothing of the economic benefit that you get from it, you know, creating an entire national industry overnight. A lot of states have legal marijuana at the state level. It's still technically illegal at the federal level, though. But if you allow these industries throughout the entire country, that is, you know, job creation, tax revenue. God, it's so annoying. It takes so long for these things to evolve. Now we're at the point where public opinion is solidly on the side of legalizing. I think it's like, new polls, like 70% support legalizing marijuana.
Yeah.
But even when the public opinion gets
a lot of people love weed.
The institutions still lag massively. And that's incredibly frustrating. But understand, I don't even know, if you go back to like 1990, imagine what the polls were on legal marijuana in 1990. My guess is, and I don't know, but it'd be below 40%.
It'd probably be more like 30, if
and
that.
Probably 30-something%. But
Yeah.
now,
Like, dead ass, it definitely would be, if that. Like, I mean, honestly, like, how much of a sea change has, happened because of, the cultural shift on marijuana has been, like, pretty immense and pretty, insane, honestly. Like, in all in good ways, too. Like, if anything, it just needs to kind of continue to happen further. And, just have a actual competent fucking president that will actually, I don't know, like, decriminalize it, or at least take it off the goddamn scheduling, or legalize it, because it's easy with, a stroke of a pen. I'm considering that most of this fucking country supports it, it's like, come on. It's like, it shouldn't be that fucking hard. It's like, most people like, this plant that grows out of the ground and, makes them feel a little good. Makes them feel nice. Alright. Let's just prohibit that and just criminalize that. That's not allowed. Couldn't have people, having, like, too much fun with different things now. Oh, little Zhukov. You just a handsome boy. Let's see what else is down. What the fuck is this? Candace Owens turns Bob Saget's death into an anti-vax conspiracy. Oh my fucking god. You can't be serious. What?
Candace Owens is going to, for no reason, create a conspiracy theory about the death of Bob Saget. It's really sad to know that Bob Saget died. I have been watching Full House since I was old enough to watch TV. I even watched some of the newer episodes as well that came out on Netflix. And I love the show. Bob Saget, I think, he's always been pretty funny. Yeah, this is wild. So I haven't seen the whole thing, James. But yeah, so apparently Candace Owens has a theory as to what caused Bob Saget's death. Now, as far as I know at the time that I record this, the cause of death was actually a stroke or a heart attack, and it occurred when he was sleeping, so thankfully he didn't experience pain, presumably. But she has a different idea as to why Bob Saget died. And again, absolutely no reason for this conspiracy theory. She's just, for whatever reason, choosing to politicize the death of Bob Saget, but here we are.
I mean, I don't even know how you can do that. I mean, I suppose Candace did. I mean, I don't even know, man. Like, how do people fucking, like, make some crazy-ass conspiracy theory over the death of Bob Saget? On top of that, like, I mean, there's plenty of other people that have died in circumstances like his, like, dying in their sleep, because of a stroke, heart attack, or just naturally dying in their sleep. Like, that's kind of a common thing that happens. So, like, how is there, oh my god, how in the fuck is there some sort of conspiracy behind this? Like, seriously, oh my god.
Conspiracy theorist, or am I Nostradamus?
You're a conspiracy theorist.
Did she just claim that she was Nostradamus, but didn't even fucking say it correctly? Nostradamus, like, what? Nostradamus? Like, you can't even say his name right, like, you're a fucking psycho.
Sir, I'm just not on Big Pharma's payroll, and I refuse to peddle in their lies. And so to that end, today, I'm going to point out another truth, and it will likely be deemed a conspiracy theory until it's not. There are too many healthy individuals, like Bob Saget, who we know have received their vaccinations, who are dropping dead suddenly and unexpectedly with no further explanation.
So it has to be a conspiracy? Nostradamus.
Because, like, I guess, people have gotten vaccines and they totally can't die due to other circumstances that has fuck all to do with that. Yeah. It's like saying, like, hey, this person, it's like, hey, this person got, a measles shot. And this person, and, later, like, within a few months, he died of a heart attack. Oh, must have been the measles shot. It's like, no, that's not, like, what?
Young students in their physical prime, the majority of them males, dropping suddenly and unexpectedly in the middle of games from heart issues. What we know for a fact is that these people are being mandated to take the vaccine. And we know for a fact that these vaccines come with a warning that they bring about myocarditis.
Okay.
COVID does that.
I'm just gonna stop.
And it does it, like, significantly more.
Right there. Nobody's being mandated to take the vaccines. The vaccine mandates are not stringent. It's not even required currently that you have to show proof of vaccination to get on a fucking plane. So it's either you get the vaccine or you have to test at least once a week.
And test negatively.
That is, I mean, the standards there are so low that it's ridiculous, but for her to suggest...
I mean, it's not even really a standard. There's so many different fucking loopholes that get into that where people can easily just say, oh yeah, I tested and I was negative. Oh yeah, I got the vax. Oh yeah, just fucking, just say it but not actually do it.
Because of the vaccine?
Which is why it should be a fucking mandate.
This is dangerous. No, they're dying because they're getting COVID and they're not vaccinated. And it's because of misinformation or disinformation agents like you, Candace Owens. But she doesn't care. I don't even think she believes anything that she says. I'm pretty sure she's vaccinated herself because didn't she attend a sports game sometime last year and it was a game that you had to show proof that you were vaccinated? Didn't she attend that? So,
yes.
I'm pretty sure she's vaccinated.
Like, all these anti-vax all these anti-vax types of shit, they literally are fucking... Like, they literally are all vax. Like, all of them are. They just, and they don't believe the shit that they say, or if they do, it's very half-assedly because, oh, I need to make sure that I, keep peddling to my base who all actually believes that this is bullshit.
Yeah, James, she's just asking questions. That's all it is.
It's just asking questions, bro.
The media is once again gaslighting the public, pretending that to even take notice of this very alarming trend is a conspiracy. The problem isn't that healthy men are dying. The problem is that you're noticing it. Where are the fact checkers? All of this.
Checking you and your fucking insanity?
Don't know why. A healthy man who is in the middle of a comedy tour suddenly and unexpectedly drops dead in his hotel room. But I do know...
He didn't drop dead. He fucking died in his sleep.
Of course.
He wasn't just like, making himself a cocktail or something like that, like a Jack and Coke, or something, making like a T-bone steak on the side or whatever the fuck, and just like out of nowhere, just like, just dropped dead. He was fucking like, he was sleeping when it happened. Like, that happens a lot when people pass away and shit.
Alex Jones level stupidity. And even in the way she speaks, you can tell she doesn't believe the bullshit she's saying. She is playing one of the greatest hits of the era to her GOP audience.
Well, she's a grifter, that's why.
She has no shame whatsoever. Oh, of course, it's gotta be the COVID vaccine. He's dead, so I think COVID vaccines kill people, and somebody died, therefore it must be the COVID vaccine. Holy shit.
Yep, it must be. It's like, hey, a person who's healthy and is vaccinated, it's like, hey, that person was totally fucking, just mysteriously died because of that. Totally not because of other factors or variables whatsoever. Nope. Not at all whatsoever. Man, these fucking conspiracy theorists are stupid. I mean, they freak out also about, like, it's like, yeah, I mean, when you're spreading outright fucking information to the point it actually harms or kills people or threatens people's lives and shit, that ends up being a different story. That ends up being a totally different case that's outside of just free speech and opinions, baby. Ends up being a little bit more than that. So it's just like, fuck this shit. Like, honestly, like, especially in my little world, like, they wouldn't be able to just necessarily willy-nilly be able to spread such massive deadly misinformation. If they want to have their stupid fucking opinions about how it don't work and it's a bunch of bullshit, whatever, you can believe whatever the fuck you want. I don't think you're going to be able to, like, spread that around and make it, like, some doctrine that, you know, society needs to, like, adhere towards. You know, in a sense that, you know, it's like, we must, you know, put our own health and everyone else's health at risk and shit because of my own personal fucking feelings. Fuck you. It's like, goddamn motherfuckers. It's like, just get the shots, pussy. Oh, a little Zhukov. You just murked that ball. There ain't no ball left. There's just no ball left on that. Let's see what's going on. Ethan Klein from H8th Street declares war on Jordan Peterson. Oh my god. Ethan Klein is just getting more awesome. He kind of struck me as just like some sort of memester or whatever the fuck, but he's like getting a little amusing now. He's kind of clapping at people like Joe Rogan, Ethan Klein and shit, just clapping back at him. I love it.
Find ourselves at this reality before we continue.
Oh, amazing.
Many of you that are in here already know what my stances are on this stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But you know, it bears repeating, especially because it's probably going to be a YouTube video eventually. So, Ethan, a couple days ago, or I guess yesterday, technically, I don't know exactly when it was, but he said, or 20 hours ago, so yesterday, said, years ago I interviewed Jordan Peterson before I was very familiar with his politics. He was an interesting guest who I enjoyed sitting with, but especially now I can see he's a dangerous gateway to alt-right, transphobia, and COVID misinfo. I removed both interviews today. So, people got mad at him for doing this, and said, you know, you're a fucking piece of shit, and then they started getting into, this is pretty funny, but other than like this funny joke, people basically started getting into the same old rehashed arguments of like Jordan Peterson Defense Brigade. It was like live and alive, basically. Sometimes I feel like the thing that killed Jordan
Kermit's
Peterson
little frogs have to go out there and defend the Kermit, of course.
Tried to get him to get experiment.
You attacked my Kermit. What are you doing? You can't attack Kermit the Frog. It's not allowed.
Therapy. But actually, just people not paying attention to him, because reactionaries have nothing. It wasn't the apple cider. It was the fact that, like, you know, he went away, so Democrats and liberals no longer paid attention to him, and I think that is the reason why there was no brigade defending him anymore. You know what I mean? Because that is the only way that the right galvanizes. That is the only way that the right get together. Wait, what is this? Why did Bruce say this? I can't see the Keemstar tweet. I tried to look at it in incognito, and it's not showing. Did he get him to delete it?
Let's skip a little bit. Skip ahead a little bit.
Bandy, he was like a fucking, he was on like the anti-shipping pipeline, like, you know what I mean?
Zhukov.
Okay?
Sweet buddy.
The point is, that's not who he is, you know what I mean? That's not who he is anymore. That's the point. And if you try to constantly pin people to who they were, then you are not interested in having productive conversations. You're not interested in being a real progressive. You are just still a very draconian, Amera-brained dickhead, okay? And a lot of people on the internet are like this. Liberal.
I mean, I kind of get what he's saying, where it's just like, I mean, if you look at somebody at their past views, but that's it, then you're not necessarily, like, looking at them in their current contemporary views. And there's a lot of fucking people that, you know, either for good or bad, have, you know, different contemporary views from their past. Like, some people probably have shitty views in the past that are actually, you know, been reformed and different now, or vice versa. There's someone like JP that's probably the latter more than the former worse. Like, he used to probably be somewhat okay, and then he ended up, you know, being like a fucking shitty ass, like, anti-trans, fucking weird ass, like, quote, self-help guru for incels and shit.
And Republicans absolutely are like this. And when it comes comedy, that's not what I'm saying at all. I am not saying that it was acceptable. You know what my take on this is, okay? You know what my take on this is. Shut the fuck up. But also, that's Ethan's take as well. He knows it's unacceptable. So the fact that so many people are like, immediately so many people were like, oh, you fucking deleted this clip? Well then fuck you. Here's a video of you saying the N-word. You know?
Zhukov's video on Wheaton, Texas. That was one of the first things I saw on stream here.
It's so strange. It's so fucking strange that, like, you know, conservatives who have made a living constantly fucking writing video essays about how, like, shitty SJWs are. How shitty the leftists are for, you know, saying that there's no way to rehabilitate someone, that people are simply good or bad. Okay? And that,
Hold up.
you know, people lack the...
I just got a notification for this. Look at this. Oh, I love it. Portland police using right-wing meme threatening violence in training presentation. Oh, let's just see what this is all about. Oh, I'm sure, you know. Oh, is this it? Members of PPB's rapid response team during 2020 protests alongside a meme including an RRT training presentation. Can I not click it? Can I open image in new tab? Okay, I guess I could just do that. So here's fucking piggies. In fact, one of them looks like, I think this guy's Kramer, which is a fucking outright neo-Nazi fuck. I won't be surprised if he is. Is that a Starship Troopers picture? It actually looks like it. I think it is. Oh no, it's not. No, it's a picture from the 60s. Really fast as fuck. Nah, this is like from the 60s or something. Woe be unto you, dirty, for thou stinketh of patchouli and for thou talk of marks, yet know him not. For thou hast bills, yet have not paid. For thou hast track logs and white skin. What the fuck? What is this, like some weird ass like Catholic like prayer or something? It says amen below. Is this like a prayer? This is like a prayer or something. What the fuck? Christian, it's a pickery. Oh my god. Yeah, this basically is. Like, this meme is basically trying to imagine him as like some sort of fucking like holy order, like some religious order or some shit. Sounds been cuffed and stuffed, Jesus Christ, and that has been stitched and bandaged. Perhaps thou shalt learn I'm tired of your shit. Oh my fucking god. Let's get out of here. There we go. Fascist Holy Order. I guess so. The Fascist Holy Order of Fraternity and Police. 3+ years. This is in the training material for 3+ years. Oh my. Like, I didn't even go for the entire goddamn thing, but, ugh. This implies that they were either trained with this or not trained at all. Not much middle ground, and both propositions are scary. The excuse in active training, I'm going to simply be never used to training, or any training for that matter. Yeah, basically. Yeah, so wow, the fucking Pig Lavelle's just like, oh, I share your concerns, and I'm going to ensure you, and let me just ensure you thoroughly here that there is a complete investigation that is underway. Yeah, both absolute fucking horse shit. I love how this guy just immediately knows it. He just knows it. However, we have conducted a thorough investigation ourselves and found we've committed no wrongdoing. I love it. I'm sorry, thought I got caught. It's not damage that they were actually in training. Yeah. Honestly, especially when it comes to these type of fucks, like, they're not necessarily sorry they, did this shit. They're sorry that they were caught doing it. So, color me fucking shocked. Like, there's straight up, like, killology presentations and shit that are circulated around different fucking police departments throughout this country. So this is, like, this is just, like, the softer, like, smaller version of that. It's, like, a meme version of it. Is this killology? No. That's, like, done with a presentation by, like, some guy who literally goes around telling them that, like, your towns are, like, enemy combatants and should basically be, like, you're in fucking Fallujah or something. This is just some meme that the PVB just put in their training, to look at. Sweet little boy. I love all those different fucking comments. The Portland subreddit. Gotta love it sometimes. It's actually full of, like, different right-wing trolls, too, so I'm actually surprised I haven't seen any of them. I mean, and if you left this at their in Bethel's fascist, well, yeah, of course. That's why, you also see a lot of fucking libs and shit libs just be like, oh, well, policing's okay, we actually, need it, and, and yeah, there's, like, a few bad apples and stuff, and all this other shit. Sweet little Zhukov. Also, another major element of fucking, being in Bedfos is just a pro-capitalist stance. I mean, a lot of capitalism kind of relies on it and kind of needs to enable, like, a lot of these more pro-capitalistic ideologies, whether it's liberalism or, like, some form of conservatism, or even, like, the more extreme versions, like fascism and shit. Because it allows to continue its overall system, to perpetuate and continue. And expand and maximize, too, while it's at it. Sweet little boy. Yeah, it's a brush. And you kind of need it. Man, you really needed a brushing, huh? Oh, you look so much softer. Yeah, you're looking good now. Don't even need a lot of brushing, just a little bit. Just a little bit to get all some of that roughness off. Yeah. There you go. Just a good little boy. Just sweet, stretchy little thing you is. What time is it? Yeah, 10 till 2. Cool. Look at you. You're so handsome. Just a handsome little Zhukov. Yeah. You want another 3? I'll give you a 3. Here. There you go. Or not. That works too. Let's see what other revolution's going on. Marjorie Taylor Greene is explicitly calling for violence against Democrats. Wow. Color me shocked.
Marjorie Taylor Greene suggests using Second Amendment rights against Democrats. MTG still wants a national divorce. Democrats respond, come out for the Civil War and declare yourself a traitor. So this is getting ugly, and her rhetoric is...
Isn't she projecting? Like, isn't she trying to kind of come out and say, I'm kind of a traitor because I want a divorce from the nation as a sage, because I'm a fucking psychopath, and I don't believe what we're doing is right no more.
Stupid. So
it's like, what?
Let's dive in a little bit here. So, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia on Tuesday suggested using Second Amendment rights to fight Democrats while defending her proposal for a national divorce akin to the southern state secession of the
Siberian.
1860s. So at this
Siberian, I guess.
point, she's basically saying, not only do I expect a civil war, I want a civil war. I want us to take up arms against Democrats. This is a sitting member of Congress. Ultimately, the true...
Man, why can't people just get guns to, like, go ski shooting and shoot, like, empty beer cans or something? Like, I mean, what the fuck? Like, why can't, you know, like, psychos like Marjorie just stick to shooting beer cans? Like, plinking with their fucking 12 gauges and 22s. Like, why can't they just be plinking around with that instead? It's like, no, we need to, you know, we need to collect a military armories worth of guns to fucking, you know, protect us from the gub, even though they have Hellfire missiles, nukes, and drones. It's like, yeah, you know, have fun with that little insurrection, buddy.
Ability to defend defend ourselves from a tyrannical government, Green said in a podcast interview with former Trump aide Sebastian Gorka, while discussing Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams' calls for stricter gun regulations. And I hate to use this language, but Democrats, they're doing exactly what our founders talked about when they gave us the precious rights that we have. Green, who has repeatedly proposed that
no one's even coming for goddamn guns.
red and blue states
Like, for fuck's sake.
comments. No one wants violence. Oh, no
Like, I
one
literally just got one myself. Like, I mean, you know, it's just like, for fuck's sake. Like, I mean, no one's coming for them, you fucking freaks.
recommend taking up arms using the Second Amendment against Democrats, but she doesn't want violence. Wink, wink, wink. No one wants violence, and I say all the time, I am not
Yeah, you do. yeah, she totally does. What the fuck?
I never see a civil war in this country as she antagonizes for one. And that's why you hear me toss around national divorce. The federal government has grown so big, and the Democrats are willing to use their power of the federal government that it really violates people's rights. Green is only...
It's like, what a way to, like, miss the point of everything that you're fucking bullshit, you know, fucking crowing about. The Muslims are buying guns to see she flips on that issue. Oh, she absolutely would. Like, hey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, there's a bunch of leftists, Muslims, black people that are buying guns in the South. You know, should we put some gun regulations in place? She'd be like, yeah. She just would immediately be like, yes. Let's, you know, restrict it unless you know, make sure that, you know, when you get your background check, you check their voter registry. If it isn't Republican or American First Party, then they are not allowed to get a gun. We're now doing, you know, political restrictions on who can own guns. Like, yep, I'm Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's get those gun regulations in, baby. 'Cause I'm gonna slay, bitch.
Republican to fantasize about violence against her political opponents. So how is it that these supposedly patriotic Republicans, like Marjorie Greene, they're coming out and they're saying, I no longer support the United States. I want a national divorce. I want, you know, different states to become their own countries. I mean, if a leftist said this, they would be called a traitor. So how is she not a traitor? Why is she still supposedly patriotic? Matt Gaetz, during a rally with Green last year, urged supporters to use their gun rights to fight government tyranny while stoking debunked election conspiracy theorists.
While you're in government. It's like, hey, rise up against government tyranny, says the government. I mean, it's just like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, let's just fall hook, line, and sinker with that. Like, even if you did agree with this broader idea on some way, shape, or form or some shit, like, you gonna listen to the gov when they say that? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like, hey, I'm a member of government. It's time to, you know, use your rights to rise up against the government. It's just like, sincerely, the government. It's just like, yeah, okay, sure. It's like, alright, whatever. Still, Trump said weed is great, so she goes with it. Actually, just let big weed bribe her. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
We have a Second Amendment in this country, and I think we have an obligation to use it. So, remember that guy at the Charlie Kirk event where he's like, hey, when are we going to start killing these Democrats? You have sitting members of Congress echoing that same sentiment. Less responsible than a right-wing pundit like Charlie Kirk, who denounced that. It's just truly insane. Gaetz said, adding that the Second Amendment is not about hunting. The Second Amendment protects the ability to maintain an armed rebellion against the government if that becomes necessary. These people are...
That's not even directly in the fucking Second Amendment either.
Insane, off their rockers. They want violence, and they are saying explicitly now that that's what they want. They want violence. Madison Cawthorn last summer predicted there would be bloodshed in future elections while stoking debunked conspiracy theories that the 2020 race had been rigged and stolen. Representative Mo Brooks, who has been linked to the planning of the Trump rally that preceded the January 6th Capitol riot, said one day after the attack that the only options in response to lost faith in the ballot box is to either submit or you could resist, often through violence. So they're saying the quiet part out loud. It's insane. These incessant suggestions of violence have had an alarming effect on the Republican Party's base. A recent poll found that 30% of Republicans believe that American patriots may have to resort...
I mean, honestly, it's just like, you would think that, like, hey, you know, these people say, you know, very extreme, violent type of things that are directly trying to overthrow us, and yet they're also a part of us. Like, you think that'd be kind of a disqualifier from, you know, holding office, I would think. Like, there should definitely be probably some disqualifiers or some laws in place where it's like you know, by law you have to resign if you go too far with shit like this. Like, honestly. And it really shouldn't be like, you know, some big weird gray area. It should be like a very set in stone type of fucking thing. Big weed as a lobbyist. Just join up with big weed. Oh, boo boo. Sweet little boy.
Of our country. Representative Dean Phillips, a Democrat, demanded that House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy take action against Green after her latest comments. Let's just pause for a moment. Imagine if it weren't Marjorie Greene and Ilhan Omar had said something like this. Can you imagine the backlash that she would face?
Oh my god, if Ilhan Omar just went out.
Violence is good. We should do violence, and they get away with it. How crazy is that? If suggesting the Second Amendment rights should be used against Democrats doesn't immediately compel McCarthy to take disciplinary action, I suggest Congress take action against both of them. So, you know, I don't know what to say about this. If this doesn't show you how far to the right that the GOP has shifted, then nothing else will. And yet, we're still talking about the far left on mainstream media. The far left. We're talking
Imagine having to smoke with Hillary. That's a nightmare. I wouldn't do it.
You have members of the GOP.
That's why I wouldn't be a lobbyist for big weed.
Openly
or period.
Promoting the idea of violence and a civil war. It's truly madness.
Welcome to America, bud. Like, honestly, these type of people have always kind of existed. There was always, like, you know, very small, tiny, fringe groups of people that were always like this, and now they're all just kind of coalesced into one bigger group. A meta group, I guess. I mean, on top of that, there's also, you know, the fucking, like, the, you know, just, mass disenfranchisement that people are fucking feeling. It's like, yeah, this is, you know, at a certain point, people are gonna feel like, you know, they want to kind of, you know, take more matters into their own hands, so to speak. Whether that's, you know, for good or bad, or for, you know, like, you know, for secessionary purposes, or for reformation, or for just, you know, political revolution, whatever the fuck. Whether peaceful or violent, too. But, you know, as shit, you know, kind of gets more and more desperate, the more and more likely it gets violent. That's kind of the problem with it. That's kind of why, like, I mean, there's, you know, such a, like, rift, you know, going on now at this point with this shit. I mean, people are like, why is this happening? Like, oh my god, we're just so divided, and, you know, we can't just get, you know, get along and this and that, because, you know, they're just, because that side, you know, it's like, oh my god. I mean, you're just kind of sowing the flames of your own discourse there, so, like, in your own doom at that point. It's like, good job. I mean, it's, like, you know, especially these, you know, too far gone, it's like, you know, MTG and shit, like, yeah, like, I mean, they're the ones that they're, you know, a part of this, you know, broader route, but just looking like some random schmuck or whatever the fuck, I mean, I can't really necessarily be like, nope, but you do, like, right off the bat, at least. Like, given it enough, you know, like, back and forth and shit, you know, like, in given enough talk or enough dialogue, you know, or enough conversation, you know, maybe that would. Or be Zhukov, he demands treats. He's right next to me, not demanding treats. Sweet little boy. Joel's a sweet little thing. Oh, did I show you my little, my new thing that I got the other day? I know I told about it to you. Here. I actually have it right over here. Moved up. Show real quick before I dip off for work. Whoop. Gotta fucking just do this real quick here, y'all. Got this nice, beautiful secure case. Gently secure the bad boy out. Zhukov, get the fuck away from it. Do you mind? Do you mind, good sir? But, there you go. It's my new little bad boy. Eventually I'm gonna start skew shooting with it a little bit, but it took apart yesterday, or last night after the stream, just kind of get more of an idea about it, and kind of check out the bolt and everything inside. But from what he was saying about like the recoil spring and stuff being warped, I don't necessarily see it directly in my, you know, with my eyes, but maybe there is, and I just haven't seen it yet. But, yeah. I mean, it's pretty fluid, so it all works out. Safety's on. Well, now it's off, but putting that back on because there's no reason for it to be off right now. But yeah. Oh, come on. Don't be stiff. There we go. Whoa. Let's put that back in there now. But the part for it to get replaced should be pretty easy. But I might actually replace the finish on it too, the furniture. Because I prefer wood furniture myself, personally. So, not much about the blast synthetic polyester type. Not that I'm against it, but I just kind of prefer wood, vintage style furnitures. Which else take? 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inches, and 3 inches. And it's also made in Turkey. I'm actually going to see what the length of the barrel is, and I'm going to see what different types of barrel lengths I can get for it, because I was looking on eBay for potential parts that I can get for it, including like the furniture for like the stock and shit, and I've noticed that there's a lot of barrels that are actually on there too, so I'm like, huh, I want to see which one my barrel is, and see if I can get extender, or maybe like even a muzzle brake on it, or a muzzle choke. Well, hopefully once season starts getting in soon, then I can also get myself all set up for a pheasant hunting too. Get myself some pheasant meats, maybe some duck meats. Oh, you're so sweet. You're just a sweet little boy. Oh, sweet fuck. This is overflowing. Oh, I'm not even kidding. Jesus. Okay, I should be using this. Oh my god. Leave it to me to not check out my key for a while. Okay. Damn. Just a shitload in there. Fuck, how am I gonna do this? What's the bougiest thing you would do? Caviar? Eating caviar? I don't even know. Probably, be on, like, one of those international, like, gambling casino boats. Smoking, Cuban cigars. Or some shit. while having just like hookers from all over the world just, you know, give me the most like insane blowies. I don't know. Like, probably that. I mean, I honestly, probably just like random shit like that I do every now and then. And it wouldn't even be a like constant, like occurring thing. It would just be like, alright, you know, I just want to splash shot like once a year or something. Alright, everybody. Taking a, you know, fucking Casino International boat ride on me. You know, like maximum capacity is like 200 people. Boom. You know, it's like just sign up and it's like if I like you, then you're on. I still wouldn't be an NFT, bro. I definitely still wouldn't be an NFT, bro. Not at all. Fine cigar expert? Yes. Not an NFT, bro, though. But, anyway. Gotta head off to work now. Do all that fun shit, of course. But, I'll be around after work, as usual. So, at least for now. Peace out. But, of course, I'll be back after the grinds in the mines.